Yeah, it is kind of deja vu. I mean, we've seen all this before here on M Street in front of the Navy Yard. It's a situation where I think they're moving us over. Joe, let's move over this way a little bit. But it's the same building, same situation here. Of course, different. It's a little later in the earlier in the year. But PIO told us that Building 197, they heard something. They had to go into that building to look around. They're searching the building, and of course here it's one of those scenes where everybody is out here and from various jurisdictions around the area. We see DC Fire here as well as various police, and overhead, as Joe, as you can see, you've got the helicopters here. It's one of those situations where, you know, everybody's hoping that this is not going to be a repeat, because that was a terrible thing. Aaron Alexis, this shooter, numerous victims, I think 12 victims in the last time. So, as I said, right here, if you look down M Street, it is a sea of lights, probably even bigger than last time, because I guess perhaps the police were sort of, you know, on alert for something. Last time it sort of came out of the blue, but as far as you can see, lights here down M Street. We're at 7th and M, and as you can see, all the way to South Capitol Street, it is quite a sight. And of course, they're going in there to find out what happened. We still don't know a lot of things. We're waiting to find out. Obviously, we're waiting, and you're waiting. That's it from here. Back to you.
All right, Sam, you got down there on the scene quick. Thank you very much for that. 8:24 is your time now. You are looking at the scene that is unfolding outside the Navy Yard right now as a myriad of police agencies are responding to reports of an active shooter. And once again, Building 197 at the center of it all. That is where we are hearing shots were fired inside. Our Jennifer Donnellan is joining us now live on the phone. Jennifer, if there's anybody here with ABC7 that is connected to the D.C. Police Department, it is you. What have you been able to find out?
Everything very fluid right now, Audrey, and in a situation like this, it is very difficult to make contact with folks, because obviously they're in a emergency situation trying to respond. And here's what I can tell you so far, and honestly, Sam just reported the same, so this is all at this point, sounds of gunshots is what the initial report was, sounds of gunshots, which is different than the reports that were coming out back in 2013 of someone shooting and people were being shot.
Okay, Jennifer, sorry to cut you off. We want to get to a live interview that's going on right now with an employee. Let's take a listen.
And so everybody's locked down in place?
Correct.
And once again, it's this Building 197?
Right now I can't confirm which building it is, just that there's a potential incident on the base that's being investigated by security forces.
I see. Okay, well,
has anybody been transported to the hospital at this point?
I couldn't say, I'm sorry.
what time did that call come in?
Also, I couldn't say. I'm sorry. I apologize. I don't have much more information. That's all I've got right now for you.
But just a recap of what you do know, please.
Of course. The base is on lockdown. Everybody's been asked to shelter in place. Security forces are investigating a potential incident. So far, everything else has been unconfirmed.
This early in the morning, how many people were already in place on the base?
It's not possible to say. I'm sorry.
And with purposes of the tape, name and title?
Chris Johnson, Public Affairs Officer.
For?
The Naval Sea Systems Command. Sorry.
I'm sorry, what else?
Naval Sea Systems Command.
Okay, is that the U.S. Navy Yard?
It's a command on the Navy Yard.
Joe, so apparently, as we understand, this is Chris Johnson, who is a public information officer for one of the units here at the Navy base, and obviously he is telling us some very basic information, essentially that the whole Navy base here, perhaps thousands of people, is on lockdown until they, I guess, figure out exactly what this is. Earlier he told us he thought that the incident was taking place at Building 197. Now he said he's not sure exactly where it's taking place. However, something happened to set all of this off. Earlier he said he thought it was a shot. Now he's not sure, but something happened to set all of this off. And of course, given this time of year, the fact that it is the 4th of July time of year, there are threats coming from overseas, people are particularly jumpy. And as I was noting earlier, if you look down the street here, you can see they must have been ready, because there is a sea of emergency vehicles here, much larger than at this point in the last incident back in September of 2013. So that's the information we have at this point. Back to you.